cry right now at how good this episode was. Hi everyone, I'm Sandrine and welcome to a new review for Breaking Bad. This week's episode was called Ozymandias. Let's talk about it. I think my brain has to wrap around everything that happened, but let's start with the flashback at the beginning of the episode, which I loved because it was such a great parallel between where we started and when we are now at the end of the series, but it also made me want to go back and watch the whole series again because I remembered how good it was. But of course, what was on all of our minds was who survived the shootout. And I think pretty much everyone agreed that Gomez was most likely gonna die. But there was a big debate on whether Hank would survive or also die in this episode. And I honestly held out hope that maybe Walt could negotiate his release. But at the same time, I knew that there was no way they were ever gonna let him go. I mean, he was DEA. They're just like, this is not happening, Walt. It was so heartbreaking when Hank told Walt that he was the smartest man he'd ever met, but he was too stupid to see that he had made up his mind 10 minutes ago. And at this point, it was over. I'm actually really sad Hank died. I was really upset about it. Not that Hank was necessarily my favorite character, but I think just as part of that whole situation and just how Walt was so desperate to save his life, and it was just very overwhelming. Yeah, I'm still very shaken about it. But I think the most oh my god moment for me was when Walt gave up his money. Because out of everything he has, we know the money was it for him. Like, that was the thing that really drove him crazy when Jesse talked about it. I think that says a lot about Walt and how he feels about family, and that's a big theme in this episode. And then of course we find Jesse, which the whole time I really thought he had escaped. He's pretty much their prisoner now, and they're gonna force him to cook meth for them. I don't know, you know, death might have been better for him. And I think a lot of people during this whole season kind of thought, is Jesse eventually gonna find out about Jane because he found out about Brock? But how would he find out about Jane? Because the only person that could tell him is Walt. Exactly. Walt is so mad at Jesse. He's like, oh, not only are they taking you to torture you and get information out of you before they kill you, but just before you die, just so you know, I let her die. It was just... And of course, Walt Jr. finally found out about what the hell Walt had been doing all these years. And I thought it was really smart the way they framed it, because you always thought, how is he gonna find out? How are they gonna tell him? So yeah, let's say he did not take it very well. Not that I expected him to. I mean, he idolized Walt, and I think that was a big shock for him. And then this show leaps into brilliance again when Walt kidnaps his daughter and then calls Skyler, knowing full well that the cops are there, and then totally exonerates her of anything that she might have done or anything she might have known. If you ever had any doubt that Walt is a freaking genius, I think this has shattered all of them. Amazing moment, amazing performance, so smart, such a crazy twist because you're thinking he's taking the daughter, what the hell? I think it just parallels him trying to give everything up to save Hank, and at the end it's the same thing. He's giving everything up to save Skyler and his family. If you were not almost crying by the end of it, I don't know. I know I was like totally shaken. I had like tears. I was like, oh god, oh god. Oh, Walt. Damn you, Walt. You just... I mean, I have to root for him now. I have to root for him to make it and save his family and all of that. I mean, I just have to. I have no words. I have no words. I shake. I'm just shaken by this whole thing. I have nothing more to add for now. What did you think of the episode? Were you as big of a mess as I was while you were watching? What do you think of Hank's death? Anything else that I maybe didn't mention that you want to talk about? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like. We always appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, to our channel, which is now called Happy Cool. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Only 2 more episodes, I can't believe it. I'll see you next week. Bye! And just as a bonus, if any of you wondered what the title of the episode meant, I looked into it. It's a sonnet written by, and again, I don't know if I'm saying this right, by Percy Bysshe Shelley, written in 1818. And according to Wikipedia, the central theme of the sonnet is the inevitable decline of all leaders and of the empires they build, however mighty in their own time. I don't think I need to say anything else. This pretty much speaks for itself. And that's why the show is so freaking brilliant.